Hi guys, we're continuing with the Aztec software study material. We were going over my notes, so we have reached the section of mathematics, and the section we're doing now is geometry. Geometry provides formulas or equations to figure out measurements about shapes, so it could be in 2-dimension or 3-dimension. And we learned that two-dimensional shapes with straight sides include square, rhombus, triangle, rectangle, hexagon, which has 6 sides, pentagon has 5 sides. A trapezoid has 4 sides, but 2 sides, they're like this on a slant. A parallelogram is like a rectangle, but 2 sides are slanted. Rhombus looks like a square with 2 sides slanted. And then 3D, you have a sphere, pyramid, a cylinder, and a cube are examples. So we learned that the perimeter is the total length of the outside of a 2-dimensional shape. So if you have 3 sides, you add all 3 sides, the lengths, to get a perimeter, etc. For a volume, this is the 3-dimensional space inside of a 3D object. So if you have a cube, and the cube has each side being 10, for example, you could, an easy way would be just multiply 10 times 10 times 10, which would be the length times the height times the width or depth. So you would get 1,000 for the volume of that cube. So that's volume. Okay, so and then area. Area is the space inside of a 2D shape. So not just the outside, like in a perimeter, but it's the space inside of a 2D, in 2D. So it's just length times width. There's no depth. So if you have a square with each side being 40, you would multiply length times width, 40 times 40, and the area would be 1,600. Excuse me. And with cubic, that's volume. Everything is in cubes. So length times width times height. So everything's in cubes, and area, everything is in squares. And perimeter, it's just straight, no degrees. Okay, and then so we also have a thing called surface area. So if you have an area, which would be the 2-dimension length times height, if you have surface area, this can be like a surface area of a cube, and you're including the surface area of all around the whole cube. So this is not like volume where it's the space inside the cube, it's just the outside, but it's all around the cube, not just one side. So what you do is length times width. So if you have one side being 5 centimeters, you go 5 times 5 for one side, and then you multiply that by the 6 sides of the cube. So the surface area would be 5 times 5, which is 25, times 6. So the surface area of the cube would be 150. So 25 times 6. And this is also in cubic, the answer. In summary, the total length of sides is the perimeter. The total space on a surface is the surface area. The space inside of just the 2D shape, like a square or whatnot, is just the area. And then inside of a 3D shape, it's The space inside is the volume. So the space outside is the surface area, the space inside is the volume in cubic. The next section we're doing is trigonometry. Trigonometry is kind of related to geometry, but it's just relating to the angles. So the angles which form between two lines coming together at a point. So, and the angles can be inside of geometric shapes or they can stand on their own. So if you have two lines, like line 1 and line 2, and they meet at a point, the point is called the vertex, where the two lines meet. And each line, which comprise the angle, is called a ray. The rays are straight lines. So, where each ray ends is called its end point. There are three types of angles: a right angle, which is 90 degrees, and so the rays of this kind of angle are perpendicular. And then an acute angle, which has its angle being less than 90 degrees, and then an obtuse angle, which is greater than 90 degrees. There are relationships between angles. For example, if two angles are complementary, that means they add up to 90 degrees together. So if you have an angle being 40 degrees and an angle being 50 degrees, and they're adjacent, they make up 90 degrees, and these are called complementary angles. So two acute angles can add up to can be complementary. Okay, two angles that are supplementary, they add up to 180 degrees together. For example, if you have an angle of 110 degrees and an angle of 70 degrees, and they're adjacent, they add up to 180 degrees. It's gonna be a straight line that they add up to. These are called supplementary angles. Okay, we're done with this section. The next section. Okay, so one angle could be obtuse and one is acute, and they're supplementary. Or you could also have two right angles, like both can be 90 degrees and they can also be supplementary or add up to 180 degrees. Okay. The next section is the section of statistics. Statistics is the collection of and the study of data. Data is a collection of facts and numbers. Tables separate data into different categories and show different relationships between data. Columns show types of data in numbers. Rows show categories of data in words. Okay, the term probability is the chance or the percentage that something will happen. The mean is a term meaning the average of numbers that you're dealing with. To calculate mean, you add up numbers and you divide by how many numbers there are. Example, if you have a sample set of numbers, you add all the numbers together. For example, if they add up to 43, you divide by the number of how many numbers there are. So if there were 11 numbers, you would divide 43 by 11, and you would get 3.9, and 3.9 would be the mean of your set of numbers. The term median means the middle number in a range of numbers. Okay, to calculate median, you line up all numbers in order, and the middle number would be considered the median. So if you have like 2, 3, let's see. Okay, in the set of numbers of 1, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, and 9, the median would be 7 because it falls in the middle. So we're going to learn a little more about this later. We'll continue in the next